and welcome to another edition of Nul Points. My name's Martyn, that is Laura, and we really like the Eurovision Song Contest. We do, but we enjoy having a little bit of a laugh, along with it at the same time. There's been many songs that have happened through Eurovision history, some of them very good and some of them not so good. They didn't score well. In fact, they scored as low as you can possibly score, 0. Nul Points. And on this channel, the idea is we're going to have a look at some of the songs that got absolutely nothing, and we're going to decide whether we think that Nul Points was actually justified. Did they deserve to get nothing from the watching European public? The one we've gone for this time is certainly here in the UK, where we live, a bit of a classic for all the wrong reasons. It was the first time this country has ever got absolutely nothing. It was a little bit of a national embarrassment, to tell you the truth. We're going back to 2003 with Jemini and Crybaby.
We are indeed. Now, do check out our previous video where we had a little look at Norway's Jan Tegan. We had a look at whether he deserved Nul Points. I think this one might be a bit easier to decide, but let's find out. As you said, Martyn, we're going to be looking at Jemini Crybaby. This caused a bit of a stir, didn't it, when they performed this at the Eurovision? As you said, it's the only song ever entered by the UK to earn Nul Points, no points from any of the countries. Also, the first ever English language song to receive no points. I didn't know that. But there you go. So it wasn't really liked, I think it's fair to say. And it did cause a lot of, I suppose, chatter, a lot of mirth by the media after they performed it. They said their performance was off key. They admitted that, and I think we can all agree with that. They claimed they were unable to hear the backing track due to a technical fault. And a
technical fault which only seemed to apply to them, I seem to remember. The others were all right.
I don't know, Martyn. I've watched back that contest recently, and quite a few of them are off key. So I'm not sure about that. I would say watch that back and see what you think.
Okay.
Maybe I'm being a little bit critical there, but who knows? I do believe there was another issue with the fact that they didn't have in-ear they didn't have headphones basically in-ear. Monitors. That's the word, monitors. Yeah, they didn't have anything to listen to because basically they thought they would be provided with those when in fact all the other artists brought their own. You kind of would have thought maybe someone would have had an idea about that.
Yeah, bring it just in case. Pack it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so there was a couple.
Or borrow someone else's.
I don't know if that's what they ended up doing, but anyway, there were issues backstage with what was going on. Of course, they did get a bit of a drabbing when they came off stage, when they left and came back to the UK. Terry Wogan said the UK was suffering from post-Iraq backlash. When this happened.
Course, because 2003 was the year that of the invasion of Iraq. So which didn't go down well in a lot of European countries along the European public. So maybe there was an element of political voting, or maybe it was just a bit rubbish.
Yeah, maybe it was. And a lot of the media blamed the poor quality of the song rather than that. Louis Walsh, another figure, branded the song a disgrace and so out of tune they deserve to be last. So poor old Jemini, they had a terrible time, really.
They did, really. They've never really recovered from it, never lived it down. So let's have a look at it and see if now, many years later, it isn't as bad as it seemed on the night. Here we go. This is Jemini and Crybaby. 3, 2, 1, and off we go. And there's the huge stadium full of people, and they're starting nice little tinkly guitar. Very nice. It's all started fine. It sounds very of its time, I think.
Yes. Here we go. Crowd's up for it. They don't know what they're about to hear.
Oh. It is cringeworthy.
Oh.
It's sharp all the time. It's sharp. It's cool.
Ooh, no. I wonder what he must be thinking. Like, oh my god, you've blown it.
Thing is that you can't see on their faces, can you? They are styling it out. They're going through with it. They're going on, but
you've got to. You have to, haven't you?
Yeah, of course you do.
Everyone on that stage must be like, oh my god, what the hell?
but he's doing it as well. So it's not just her. He's the same amount of out, I would say.
I think he's slightly better, but it's not by much.
Better now. Better.
Yeah, better. But it's the damage he's done.
Yeah, they're all right now. They've got it. It's back.
Yeah, they've got it. They're like, oh, thank goodness. But wait, it's the final. This isn't a rehearsal. Oh no.
Can I just talk about his trousers for a moment?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're very of the time, aren't they?
They're very. Do you remember dreadies? They're very dreadies and
baggy jeans.
Baggy. They're way too long for him. He's walking on the bottom something. But look at that chain as well.
It's an odd outfit, isn't it? This is shirt and baggy jeans. Ooh.
I mean, look at the chain. And the hair. The hair's very of its time as well, isn't it?
Why has he got so many chains?
I don't know. Maybe he forgets his wallet often.
I used to have jeans like that with big chains.
Oh yeah, it was in Latvia, wasn't it? Yeah, I forget that.
Yeah. Come on, Latvia, help us!
For God's sake! He's gone off. Look,
oh, bless him, you know.
He's putting a lot into
really
physical movement.
They're trying
a little bum slap there.
They are, aren't they? They're like trying to be like, oh God, it's gone up. You can see a little bit in their face. They're like, what's going on? He's just going to try and be like, yeah, ignore the music.
Yeah, look at me, look at me. There's something very Enrique Iglesias about this song as well, isn't it? I think it's the guitar.
Perhaps, yeah. But you can't really hear it. Oh, it's awful.
Oh, it's ending, thank goodness. And we got through it!
Muted.
Thank goodness for that. Wow. I mean, that wasn't great, was it?
No. Let's stop it there. Let's a muted applause as well, I feel.
I wish the song had been muted. I think things would have been a lot better. It would have been a lot better.
So thoughts?
Well, thoughts are it started terribly, and that really, as you say, the damage was done from the start. There was no recovering. They could have got it perfect after that. The damage was done. If you don't get your start right, you might as well not bother. They did bring it back, and I'd actually forgotten that. They did bring it back. A few minutes in, they were starting to get it back. The bit where they did a harmony, that was in tune, that was okay. They were giving it everything.
Great.
It was very of its time. But you're right, the damage was done. There was no recovery.
You can't start off with that first note and be off. And it's hard because you've got to hit that straight away. You know, you've got nothing else to sort of guide your way into that note. But yeah, they just didn't. They didn't.
Yeah.
Did they? And I think I know what the answer is going to be here. But in terms of whether they deserve the Nul Points, what do you think?
Yeah, very, very well deserved. I would say in my lifetime of watching Eurovision, you know, the Eurovisions that I've seen, there's never been a more deserving Nul Points.
Oh, so harsh, Martyn.
I know, but it's got to be true, hasn't it? I mean, it was terrible.
It was bad. And the thing is, you could get away with a lot in Eurovision.
Yeah.
With quite a lot of bad things, but it's got to at least be in tune.
But I suppose if you take away the fact that it wasn't in tune, let's say that they had done that song as they'd done it maybe loads of times in rehearsals and it had been absolutely on point. It wasn't that good a song, was it? It wasn't really a standout song. It was mid-table at best.
Yeah. It definitely wouldn't have scored. Yeah, it's not like, oh, they had this perfect song and they ruined it. Yes, it probably was mid-table. I don't think it was going to score, it wasn't going to get in the top 10 even, I don't think. No. But it catchy enough, but like quite forgettable. And they hadn't really brought much to it in terms of pizzazz, or it was just him going, whoa!
Yeah, he did a lot of moving.
Yeah.
He really went
I don't know if that was to compensate for the singing. I feel like it was. I feel at some point he was like, I've just got to give it my all.
Distract them.
Maybe they won't notice. But it probably didn't help he was jumping around so much either for his singing. But anyway, yeah, I also agree. I think it did deserve the Nul Points. I still feel sorry for them though.
I feel sorry for them. I mean, as somebody who has done a little bit of amateur sort of playing of music on a stage, I do know how, even as an amateur, how important it is to be able to hear what you're doing, to get it, in tune and at the right time. It is so important. And if you can't hear yourself, it is really off-putting. So if that's what happened, I get that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Having said that, they are professionals and they're on the biggest TV show pretty much in the world. You'd have thought they'd be more professional and get it right, wouldn't you?
Ooh, Simon Cowell over
I know, sorry.
here.
I felt a bit harsh when I said that.
Yeah. Well, yes,
true.
but I feel like they did the best that they could do with the technical difficulties. They just didn't. The best that they could do just wasn't good enough.
Yes. So now who's? Oh,
Yes,
I feel like you're the
like
teacher
that.
now.
I quite enjoyed it.
Not good. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well,
so there we go. There's our thoughts
Yes.
on Gemini's Crybaby from 2003. Would love to know what you thought about it. Did it deserve Nul Points? Are you willing to give Gemini the benefit of the doubt? Perhaps you've got their album. And you're a big fan of their music, and you think this is just a very poor point in an otherwise brilliant and glittering career. Well, please tell us about it in the comments section below. We would love to know what you have to think about it. And of course, there's loads of ways of getting in touch with us, and we'd love you to listen to the podcast as well, Cress?
That's right. We should mention this is a part of we normally do a podcast called Nul Points, the same name to keep it so easy, where we discuss Eurovision news. We talk to Eurovision fans. If you'd love to be on the podcast, do let us know. You can get in touch with us. As Martyn says, we're on Twitter at @Null. We're also on Instagram at Nul Points Podcast. And you can also drop us a little email. We're nulpointspodcast@gmail.com. So do like and subscribe. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on all the good things. SoundCloud as well. So if you liked this, we don't just do reaction videos, and we don't just discuss past Eurovisions. We do a bit of that, but we also look ahead. So I think in the podcast to come, we'll be looking at what's going on for this year's Eurovision, maybe discussing what Dardy might be doing for Eurovision this year, a little bit of that. So do check us out, Nul Points Podcast.